Kol Nidrei, a chant that begins in a whisper and rises to a cry. On this night of promises remembered, each soul in solitude communes with the soul of the universe. God, from this day of atonement to the next, may we reach it in peace. All Israel makes these vows, to turn from wrong, dishonesty, and greed, to walk in the path of justice and right. Yet we know our weakness, how prone we are to fail. Help us to keep our word, help us to act with humility and integrity. We seek pardon and forgiveness. We seek your radiance and light. Promises sincere. Let our spoken words, every vow and every oath, be honest and well-intentioned. Let our words cause no pain, bring no harm, and never lead to shame, distrust, or fear. And if, after honest effort, we are unable to fulfill a promise, a vow, or an oath, may we be released from its obligation and forgiven for our failure. Let our speech be pure and our promises sincere. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochmat poteach she'arim, uvidvunam mishaneh itimu machalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem, barakia kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mibnei choshech v'choshech mibnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, Umavdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Tamid yemloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry the world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of twilight and dusk. You are my witnesses, says Adonai. God is the first, God is the last. There is no God but Adonai. Testify for me, says Adonai. In your love for me, teach your children. Embracing Torah now as forever. We accept God's sovereignty in reverence, treating others with love, studying Torah. May this be our will as we witness. Shema Yisrael, Adonai
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך. ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם. בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך. ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך. והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וביש עריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. Thus you will become holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai, your God, is true. Throughout the year, our actions condemn us. Throughout the year, our deeds are open to blame. But on this day, we rise above our human failings. Fasting, praying, wrapped in white talitot, we stand like angels reaching for the divine. On this one day, we catch a glimpse of what we could be. We celebrate the better angels of our nature. Our sages taught it is proper to mention the exodus from Egypt in our morning prayers and also at night. We celebrate the going out from Egypt in the morning light, full of confidence and vigor as we enter the new day. But in the evening, weary from the day's exertions, cast down and fearful at the coming of the night. What can the Exodus teach us then? Our nighttime prayer brings hope and trust in the future, as God did not abandon our people long ago through the long ark night of exile. So the Holy One will be with us in time to come. To stand by the one you love, that is the true essence of faithfulness, the meaning of emunah. So it is written in the Psalms, to proclaim your kindness in the morning and your faithfulness in the nights. When fears multiply and danger threatens, when sickness comes, when death confronts us, it is God's blessing of shalom that sustains us and upholds us, lightening our burden, dispelling our worry, restoring our strength, renewing our hope, reviving us. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed One, you spread over us a canopy of peace, a shelter of shalom over all Israel, your people, and over Jerusalem. mercy upon me, O God, as befits your faithfulness. In keeping with your abundant compassion, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly of my iniquity and purify me of my sin. For I recognize my transgressions and am ever conscious of my sin. Hatfilah. Adonai Tzivatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Bekonei Hakol Izocher Chaste Avot B'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ahava. Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Umekayem Minato Li Shenei Afar. Michael Hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh. Ukdoshim b'chol yom hallelujah. Selah. You are holy, your name is holy. Seekers of holiness praise you day by day. Selah. What is the purpose of our prayers? Connection with the past, the expression of hopes for the future. A moment of personal transcendence and clarity, a strong bond with a community that shares our values and sings the melodies we cherish. These are all worthy reasons to pray, but during this sacred season, our liturgy also gives us an extended opportunity to ponder the holiness of God. Chosenness is not a privilege to boast of, but a task to be undertaken. It is to keep constantly in mind the words of the prophet Micah. It has been told you, O mortal, what is good, and what the eternal requires of you. Only this, to do justly and love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. Accept the words we set before you, awkward and imperfect as they are. Our hesitant questions, our corrosive doubts, accept to our silences, our thoughts that rise in the stillness, our faith that coheres for a fragile instant, then dissipates like smoke above the altar. Zachrenu Adonai Eloheinu bol l'tova, amen. Eternal our God, remember us, amen. Ufokdenu bol livracha, amen. Be mindful of us, amen. V'hoshienu bol l'chayim, amen. And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing, amen. On this night of atonement, grant us, God, a sense of your presence as we call upon your name. Speak your hopeful message to each yearning heart and answer the worthy petitions of each searching soul. Purify and strengthen our noble strivings and cleanse us of all our unworthy desires. Join us together in fellowship and in love, and grant us the joy which comes from enriching other lives. Help us to be loyal to the heritage we share. Draw us near to Torah in wisdom and in faith. Strengthen our devotion to our people everywhere. Keep alive our faith in righteousness and truth. Bless us with hopes to uplift our daily lives, and keep steadfast our courage and our resolve at all times. On this night of atonement, help us, God, to be worthy of your presence as we call upon your name. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. pause now for a moment as we remember those in need of healing, be it physical, spiritual, or emotional, as we spend a moment remembering all of those in our hearts and prayers, as we then recite the Misha Berach prayer. Eloheinu v'Elahei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Tavo lefanecha tefilatenu, ve'al titaleim b'chinotenu. Our God and God of all generations, may our prayers reach your presence, and when we turn to you, do not be indifferent. Adonai, we are arrogant and stubborn, claiming to be blameless and free of sin. In truth, we have stumbled and strayed. We have done wrong. A list, a litany of the wrongs of which we are guilty. An alphabetic acrostic in the Hebrew to remind us of who we are and later to remind us of who we could be. Saranu,
Saranu,
Adinu,
Avinu,
Ganu,
Ganu,
Saranu,
Saranu,
Kishinu Oref,
Kishinu Ore.
Roshanu,
Roshanu,
Shechatnu,
Shihatnu,
Tiyavnu,
Tihavnu,
Tahinu,
Tahinu,
Tiyatanu. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. We wrong you when we wrong ourselves. For our failures of integrity, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For passing judgment without knowledge of the facts and for distorting facts to suit our purposes. For succumbing in silence to social pressure and for acquiescing in beliefs we find offensive. For using others' bad behavior to excuse our own and for blaming others for our mistakes and poor decisions. For pretending to emotions we do not feel, and for appearing to be other than what we are. For condemning in our children the faults we tolerate in ourselves, and for tolerating in ourselves the faults we condemn in our parents. We dishonor you when we dishonor our society. For our failures of justice, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For being indifferent to deprivation and hunger, while accepting a culture of self-indulgence and greed, for abuse of power in boardrooms, courtrooms, and classrooms, and for accepting the neglect of children and elders, the ill and the weak, for permitting social inequalities to prevail and for lacking the vision to transcend our selfishness, for glorifying violence and turning hastily to war, and for allowing history to repeat itself, for behaviors that risk the future of our planet, and for wreaking havoc on our only true inheritance, God's creation. We sin against you and we hurt one another. For our failures of love, Adonai, we seek forgiveness. For exploiting another for our own pleasure, and for the wounds we cause through betrayal and deception. For withholding affection from those we claim to love, and for using love to control our spouses and partners, our children and parents. For abandoning friends and siblings whose love has sustained us, and for neglecting those who love us when they need us most, for harboring in our relationships mistrust, boredom, and disloyalty, and for rejecting our partner's efforts at repair and renewal, for possessiveness, jealousy, and avarice, and for lashing out in anger at those who are closest to us. Who among us is blameless? Who shall say, I have not erred, I have not wronged or sinned? We abuse, we brutalize, we covet, we deceive. We enslave, we feud, we gossip, we humiliate, we injure, we judge unfairly, we kill, we lie. We manipulate, we neglect, we ostracize, we plagiarize. We quarrel, we rage, we shame, we turn away, we undermine, we vilify. We waste, we exploit the earth. We earn too much for yesterday and too easily forget Zion. Our sins are an alphabet of woe. Help us, Holy One, to follow your ways of integrity, justice, and love. Teach us to seek forgiveness with humility and an open heart. For all these wrongs, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement. God, our Creator and Guide, let us speak now of the healing acts by which you bring into the world the acts of repair that make you a living presence in our lives. Al hatikun shetikanu lifanecha, for the act of healing we have done openly or anonymously, and for the act of repair we have done without personal gain. For the act of healing we have done by seeking forgiveness, and for the act of repair we have done by forgiving others. For the act of healing we have done through righteous giving, and for the act of repair we have done by opening our hearts. For the act of healing we have done by comforting the mourner and visiting the sick. And for the act of repair we have done by pursuing justice and human rights, fairness and civility. For the act of healing we have done by making peace between one person and another. And for the act of repair we have done by protecting nature and all its creatures. For the act of healing we have done by teaching our children the ways of peace. And for the act of repair we have done by teaching our children the ways of Torah. For the act of healing we have done by honoring elders and loving the stranger. And for the act of repair we have done in response to your commandment, choose life and blessing. Thou Kulam, and all these bring nearer the day when you shall be one, and your name shall be one. God of forgiveness, we come before you in need of compassion. At Sinai, you spoke words that guide our lives to this day, but our ancestors lost faith in you, lost hope in their Redeemer. With one voice they had promised, we will do and we will obey, Na'aseh v'nishma. And yet stiff-necked they broke their word, adoring an idol of gold. How wondrous your compassion in the face of their rebellion, your forgiveness in that moment of human weakness and doubt. We too have broken promises to you. We too worship the work of our own hands. We too make of gold a god, and we too forsake your word. At Sinai, you revealed 13 attributes of mercy, these aspects of your nature, your very essence. We now recall. Avinu Malkeinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Shema Koleinu. Avinu Malkeinu, Chatanu lefanecha. Avinu Malkeinu, Chalol aleinu. Ve'alol aleinu, v'tapeinu.
Avinu Malkeinu,
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Godveinu, B'Sefer Chaim Tov. Shema Koleinu, Shema Koleinu, Shema
Shana Tova, Happy New Year. I'm Faith Kremenak, the President of Temple Bethel Israel. Welcome to all our members and guests who are joining us in this extraordinary and innovative way for our 5781 Kol Nidrei virtual service. We are so proud of being able to bring you incomparable services this year in the midst of what is going on in our lives. By having the ability to be totally virtual, we can celebrate the holidays and still feel a part of our traditions and heritage. Our deep gratitude to Rabbi Benson for what he has done to bring our holiday service to us, and for the untold hours of tedious work involved in arranging the services we are seeing on our TV, iPad, phone, or computer screens as we follow along with him. As in the past, Rabbi has brought our wonderful choir back to enhance our services even more. We are trying to maintain some of our routines until things get back to normal, whatever normal will be from now on. This is our temple, this is your temple, and we are doing what we can to keep our doors spiritually open until they're really open again. Thank you for being a part of our holidays, and until we're together again, stay safe, stay healthy, and L'Shana Tova to everyone in our temple family.
There's so much to say, and being as you're all home and comfortable, this would be the perfect time to take the opportunity to say it. I will, on the other hand, in keeping with the beginning of resolving sins of the past, I will choose not to spend enormous amounts of time speaking tonight, but just to thank you all for who you are. These are, as Faith said, enormously challenging times. Nothing makes everybody happy, and most things make nobody happy. But that is where we live at the moment. And we will make the best of it, because that is who we are. We look forward to when the new normal becomes the normal, and we can move forward. But now, even in the comfort of your homes, you should feel a little bit of the challenge of what the Yamim, what the holidays bring to you and present to you and require of you, which is to be just a teeny bit uncomfortable. A member of the temple called and asked if it was okay if she sat on the couch during these services. And I said, well, of course, but don't get too comfortable. She then decided that sitting in an uncomfortable chair was the correct answer when you are trying to look in it yourself. Making yourself too comfortable is not the answer. She also decided to dress as if she was coming to the temple. Because if we are too comfortable at home, it's not the same. We shouldn't be all that comfortable. I've said 1,000 times, okay, God, forgive me, it's only been several hundred. Another sin out the window. Whoever told you prayer was supposed to be easy lied to you. And this year is the proof text of that. You're being required to pull from what we can do, what matters to you. So, take it on. I realize we are at Yom Kippur, but we have a day tomorrow to deal with. And come and share with us all the different things that make this year not bad, but what I call unique. They are different. Absolutely. That's okay. Partake. Go to the study sessions. There will be multiple study sessions tomorrow afternoon. We will hear the chant of Jonah. We will have a service at the end. We will have Yizkor. We will have many of the things that we always have, just a little bit different. Share. Step out of your comfort zone just a little bit. That's what prayer is supposed to do. It's supposed to push you a little bit harder. If it's all too comfortable and all too convenient and all too what I remember and exactly what I want, that's great. But it's not all of what prayer is supposed to do. We continue with the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, לגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, בידת היום והשיבותה אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים, בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. אין עוד. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. This holy night concludes with memory. Our last thoughts always are those of those who we have lost. We miss them especially tonight, yearning for their presence at our side. The service we have shared once was theirs. They spoke and sang the ancient words. They prayed, repented, and yearned for better lives as we have done. Our thoughts turn to loved ones whose death is taken from us in recent days, and those who died in this season in years past. Our hearts open as well to the wider circles of loss in our community, wherever grief touches the human family. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing. We join in the mourner's Kaddish for all those taken in the past year and those whose yahrzeits occurred this week, as well as over 1.5 million children of the Holocaust, for whom there is no one to recite Kaddish save us. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chilutei, be'amlich malchutei, B'chaye chon v'yomei chon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv, imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevarach le'olam olamei maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei kutsha b'richu. Le'elal u'la'ela mitkol birchata, v'shirata toshbechata. V'nechemata da'viran ba'olma v'yimeru, amen. Yehei shalom rabba min shemayim, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu'ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimeru, amen. May the source send peace and bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Adonai is my light and my help. For so it is written, your word is a lamp to my feet, a light for my path. There are some who stumble in darkness like wanderers lost in the night. But those who love and study your words, they carry a torch in the darkness. They see the dangers, and they do not fall. On this atonement night, I pray, let the goodness within me shine forth as I struggle to overcome my flaws. Let me find forgiveness and peace. So may I journey from darkness and confusion to clarity and light. And so may I learn not to fear. Yehi ratzon milvanecha, our God and God of our ancestors. Eternal God of all generations, may your presence in our lives this new year renew our spirits and renew our strength. May it be a good year. May it be a sweet year. Shana tova tikatevu, v'teicham chaynu. Shana tova tikatevu, v'teichatemu. May you be inscribed and sealed for a good year.